Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to another day, another episode right here at Daily Reset, where a new chapter of your life starts with us. And today we're going to have a very interesting guest who's going to have a very interesting topic to talk about. But before that, how about we take a short break and we'll be right back after this. And we're back, dear viewers, after that short break. And today we have a very special guest. And how about we let him introduce himself? And today our topic is going to be about starting a podcast. But before that, let's get to know a little bit more about our guest. And hello and welcome to the show.
Hello.
And can we have a little bit about who you are and kind of a CV?
The list is long but distinguished. Anyway, this is Musaed Alhaddad. And, I do have a lot of interests. So to list them all would be too much, but today I represent the podcaster in me. So I'm the creator and host of Kuwait first podcast, Dirachat.
All right, cool. So what made you decide to start a podcast in general?
So this is in early 2000s. The podcast was a new thing, a new technology, and I always believed that media should be on demand. The fact that I have to wait or scroll through channels to find something of interest did not make sense to me. So I needed a medium where I can search for something that I want to know about. And podcast was the answer. So I could easily search for something that I want to know about, and I find a show that talks about it. And it was brilliant. I loved it. The issue came when I tried to search for topics that belongs to this region. To us, and that's when I found out that there are none. There are no podcasts covering this area, and the idea hits me. It's like, okay, well, why not do it myself? And that's how it came to be.
You mean being a pioneer in the podcasting?
It came to be. I need to fill in this gap, and there is no show that covers us here, and that's why I picked the name Dirachat. Is basically because I don't want to be confined into a specific space other than what we experience. What's our daily chat in Dira?
Yeah. So for our dear viewers, some of them kind of are confused. What is a podcast versus a broadcast versus a radio?
Okay. So podcast is basically it's like a radio, only it lives on the internet. And you get to access the episodes whenever you want. So me as a host, I can upload a new episode every day or every week or every month. You as a listener, you get to follow me just like you follow any social media. And whenever I have a new episode, you are alerted, and it's up to you to listen to it. Now the thing is about podcasts is that it helps you fill in your day. Like if you're commuting, and instead of you being bored in in the traffic, you can listen to something of interest. And with the cool gadgets right now, you can pick up where you left off in the episode last time you listened to it. So you're constantly listening to something of your interest. And the fact that it lives on the internet, it's so easy for podcasters to, create episodes and publish them.
Now, speaking about episode, your first episode, how was the feeling? Were you nervous? Did you have a lot of ideas? You just didn't know where to start?
Okay. So, like I said, the original, how it came to be. I talked to my nephew, shout out to him, and I said, I have this idea. I want to do a podcast, but I didn't have the technical know-how. I have an idea how I wanted to structure it, but I don't have the technical know-how. Mind you, this is early 2000. 2003, 4, and we didn't have what you have right now. So no iPads, no App Store, none of that. So
mostly it was dependent on the radio itself.
Yeah, the conventional equipment.
Yep.
Yeah. I only had the very first iPhone, the very first iPhone I remember. The tiny
in
one.
those days, it was like kind of Nokia based.
It's really basic, So my nephew hooked me up with who became my co-host, Ali. Shout out to him. I tried to bring him here today, but he's camera shy, I guess. Anyway, and so we hit it off. We had instant chemistry, and after he set it up with what we need to do, I start to lay down the structure of how I want to do the episodes. And so the structure was simple. It was 10 to 13 minutes max. 15 seems too much, so I try to be less than 15. And I don't have guests, so it's me and Ali all the time. And I tend to look for topics, and we cover them from both sides. So I tell Ali before we start recording that this is the topic. I'm going to say this side of the argument, and you're going to say the other side. And this way we cover all aspects. And I divided the topics into two sections, is what I call heavy and what I call light. And I'll let you ask about those.
All right, sure, no problem. But before I ask about that, what about the name and the format? Were you inspired about the name and the format itself? How did you get to settle into one format?
Well, the name came from, you know, the idea itself. I don't want to confine myself to a specific topic where I have to just focus on, say, sport or media or like art. I want something that's open, allow me to, you know, jump from one topic to another. This way, my audience is bigger, and I'm not confined into a specific subject. That's one. As far as the structure, it just it felt the quickest and the easiest for me to work with. It was dynamic enough, and I wasn't bored with it. It wasn't something that required a hell of, you know, a lot of research, a lot of time to prepare. No, it's just 10 minutes, and I can, you know, with my skill set, I can do that really quickly. So it worked for me very well.
Now, with today's technology, because I know you've said more than once, it was easy. It was kind of more simple in your days, like with the way that people used to listen to a podcast. Like we didn't have iPads in those days, but the equipment itself in your days when you started it, how simple was it, and how did you get started?
Well, I think it's not the word simple as much as primitive.
Okay.
Because it actually was hard to listen to us. Keep in mind, like it used to, the podcast used to live in a blog. So you actually go on your, you know, on a browser to a blog, and then you'll see an audio file. So that's one. We didn't have, like I said, those nice apps and the big screens.
Yeah.
We didn't have a studio. So we used to rely on our phone. At the time, it's like the cutting edge. And we used to record inside the car because we didn't want any echoes.
Okay.
And I remember we used to find a parking lot, and we parked like in the fourth, you know, floor, so that we're away from traffic and horns and all that, so we can have a quiet environment, and the car can have good acoustics, so there's no echoes. And we recorded using the phone, and most of the time we do it in one shot.
So do you still do it the same way? I mean, your podcasting style, is it just audio or now audio and video? Do you?
No, it's only audio.
Till this day,
audio, yes.
You've never tried to go video on?
Well, the podcast stopped. It's no longer going on right now. We did 100 episodes, and again, I'll let you ask me about why we stopped.
Okay, right.
But yeah, after 100 episodes, we stopped.
Okay. How do you choose your guests and topics for each episode?
We don't have guests, so it's topics only.
Oh, you never had any in the 100 episodes?
No guests. That's the format that we're adopting here. It's not the conventional that we're hosting a guest.
Yeah.
What I do is, being a marketing consultant, is that I tend to observe. And when I observe something, I start to think about it, why this is happening, why this is going on this way. And I start developing the show, the idea, what I want to talk about. And once I do that, then we start the show, and I tell Ali, today I want to talk about this. And you know, he asked me and I answer back, and that's basically the show. So we never bring a guest into.
Well, talking about that, then how do you actually choose? How do you do your research in general?
This is back to you know, the tease that I gave in the beginning, is that I have two types of subjects. I have the light and heavy. And what I mean by light and heavy is basically, I'll give an example both so that you get the idea. So heavy is a topic that a lot of people talk about. Like if I ask you about the mail system in Kuwait, and you know, what are the challenges, what it can be. This is a very, you know, heavy topic, and there's a lot of research done before. There's a lot of resources.
Okay.
But on the other hand, there are topics like, you know, why henna disappeared? You know, there's not much
talk about,
about that.
Yeah.
So then it's actually harder to prepare for that because the resources are very thin. You probably have to come up with it. You have to, you know, go talk to people. But these are basically my resources. So it depends on the subject. And I found out from the little feedback that I got is that the lighter subjects tend to be more successful because they usually never discussed, even though we try to bring the heavy subject in a different light. So not the usual way of addressing the issues.
All right. How about we take a quick break and we'll be back? All right, dear viewers, don't go away, and we'll be right back right after this. And we're back, dear viewers, after the break. So, Saad, a question. What surprised you mostly about podcasting and the podcasting world, and how did it make you change your way of perception into communicating and telling stories?
Well, it's like I said, the medium itself is very convenient. We spend a lot of time running, gym, in traffic. That's for me, it's wasted time. And as a person, I'd like to always advance my knowledge. And podcast came in as the perfect medium. Now, I just explained my model of my podcast, but there are different models out there. Like you suggested, there are guests. And so whoever interested in such model will go after, a guest, maybe someone of interesting opinion that you want to listen to, or simply educating yourself. So it will be more like a class, that you listen to. So I found it as an intriguing medium because I still believe, like I said in the beginning, is like media should be on demand.
Yeah.
And that also proven to be true because of all the digital channels right now and the platforms that the subscription platforms that booming right now. It proves that this theory is correct. So the podcast is the easiest, the most convenient thing from both sides, from producing it and creating it, and from consuming it and listening to it. So that's what I found about it.
So talking also about this, what makes a great podcast conversation in general, and how can you balance the actually like having a good conversation with your colleague?
Well, you have to consider this: why people listen to you. It's not just for knowledge. You tend to become this friend for the listener. You may never met this friend, but they consider you as a friend. That's why. Some people like me, some people like my co-host because of the personality and what's, but you become a friend of these people. So that's one thing. It's basically your personality and attitude. The second is what you bring to the table. Are you being, how you bring in the information? Are you being boring? Are you taking so long to say something that's very simple? Do you make it more of light and light subject, nothing too heavy, because in the end people are in traffic, stuck. They want to listen to something that makes them happy, not something that I need
keep them happy,
focused.
alerted, focused on the road.
All of these things, and in the end you're competing for their attention as well, because the radio is still working and there's still songs and all that, so you're competing for their attention as well. So if you nail it right and get all these things, and there's not only one right way to go. We're in a library right now, and if knowledge is in one book, there won't be a library. So there's always a lot of things to do it right, not one way, but just choose what works for you.
So how do you handle difficult or sensitive topics during recording?
We never address something that's really sensitive.
I'm sure you won't address it, but what if you're doing your research and then you found something sensitive, like you can't say
I
it?
didn't have any issue because in the end, I don't answer to any government body. Just I'm doing a show and it's uploaded into a server somewhere, abroad, and I didn't have any censorship or anything. We were censoring ourselves, but
you're cautious,
But so we were self-conscious, but we didn't have anything that held us back. As long as we're not being offensive to anybody, I don't think we've done anything, cause alert or alarm. So
So what has been your most memorable episode so far, and why?
Oh, there are two actually. The first one, I'll just pick one. But
no, you can say to both of them. It's
okay,
fine.
So the second one.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna talk about the first one more. The second one was about the Arabian horse.
Oh.
And I used to breed horses, and when I talk about this aspect of the Arabian horse personality, a lot of people were shocked. And I got a lot of feedback till this day when someone, dig up this episode and listen to it. They were shocked about this episode a lot, about the Arabian horse, which is very interesting. It was a very interesting research as well. The first one was titled Kuwait Opera House. And this vision came to we before Jack existed.
Yeah.
Before any of that.
I mean, I guess for sure.
and the thing is about this episode is that it came exactly how I described it. And exactly, I said there should be a building called Kuwait Opera House on the seaside, and the first show would be Memoirs of a Sailor, and it happens exactly how I envisioned it, to an extent that people were congratulating me when Jack opened their first show. They thought I was part of the managing team, but I said no, it's just a vision that I will into existence. But the episode, I was very proud of it. It's a very cultural episode. It brought a show that I really adore. It tells a very genuine Kuwaiti story in a way that deserves attention, deserve listening to. So I thought I brought that to the surface in this episode in a very quick, smart, casual way that connected with people. And I had people telling me, like, I never listened to it in that light until you explain it. And now, they see it completely differently. So very proud of that one. In the end, you're asking me to pick a favorite for my children. It's very difficult, but
Well, you can still have, I mean, if you have 2 children, then
you
both of them are your favorites.
I didn't say
Fine. So, have you ever had a topic that completely changed your perspective on something, like while you were researching for these episodes?
Completely changed my perspective? Not really. In the end, these subjects are more, I mean, these topics come from my head, so I pretty much have a solid idea about it, unless...
Even while researching?
Usually, yeah, I never had this happen, really. I never saw something that's drastically different than what I thought. Maybe it has a lot to do with my selection of the topics. Mind you, because I pick an easy topic, so we don't do an extensive research, like when you're doing, a 45-minute show or an hour show. It's bite-sized. So I wouldn't say that I experienced something.
All right. Now, speaking about bite-size, how do you keep your episodes basically fresh and new and interesting?
Well,
or is it just you just choose it and just throw it in the sea and just wait and see something catches?
We actually cook it fat-free. Let's put it this way.
Okay.
You started off saying, okay, what do we want to say? This is what I want to say, and this is the argument. This is the counter-argument, and just stick to that. There is no point of doing more than that. This is what I want to say, and if there are several points, then we have to pick 1 or 2 that are the loudest and stick to that. Because for me, I don't want to lose the attention, because keep in mind, this is audio, this is not visual. So you're just listening. It's easy to doze off or lose the attention, where when you have visual cues, it's different. So we just cook it fat-free.
All right. So what role does listening play in being a good podcast host?
Like I said, you need to understand your strength. You understand what your show is about. You can be funny, but not a clown. So yeah, understand that balance and play to your strength.
That's actually nice. You could be funny, but not a clown. So how has hosting a podcast made you a better communicator in everyday life? Did it affect you outside of the realm of podcasting?
No, I think it's the other way around.
Okay.
I think I had the skill, like I said, you know your skill. So it did not, I mean, it was there before I developed this. It's actually because it was there. A friend of mine, I remember he said something, I have to give him credit for that. I said, prepare an episode is easy. He said, no, it's not easy. It's easy for you. Don't take it, do not underestimate a skill that you have. People spend a lot of time doing what you did in 10 minutes. So this is understanding your skill. Some people have that in other mediums, but appreciate that you have a skill and just go with it.
All right. Another break?
Another break.
All right. Another break, dear viewers, and we'll be right back. And we're back, dear viewers, after that break. So tell me something. I mean, we've talked about the fact that your friend said to you that it's so easy to make an episode to you. I mean, this is something that you have as a talent, which is amazing. Now, for people that basically want to open a podcast, so what is a daily reset that helps them, you know, be creative, energetic, picking their topics? So it's kind of, you can advise them right now.
Well, first of all, you have to understand what you're about. You know, so what you're about. If you have an open-end subject, it's easier for you in a way that you have a lot of things to talk about, but it's harder to maintain the audience interest. If you talk about a certain book, and I'm interested, and the next episode you're talking about what's the best chef knife, you just lost me because I thought you're about books, you know? But it's harder when you're shifting topics for your audience. When you're focused, it's easier, but then you have to be specialized because now you're talking to an audience that's educated in that subject. Otherwise, they will not be listening to you.
Very true.
So now your research has to be more extensive in maintaining that level of quality. If your you know, your setup is about having a host or guest, then you have to find the right guest with the right knowledge, the right guest with the right attitude, and the right guest that actually can convey them, you know, the message. And you should have your own right skill set in how to interview somebody and give them the space to be comfortable and say what they have to say, without, you know, constant interruption and what have you. Also, the length of the episode. If a story worth telling, maybe you should consider doing it in parts because it's not fair. You know, once I listened to a serious podcast that's 15 hours, but I was still interested. But yeah, that's so. You know, these are the things that you have to worry about from the prep and side of things. Of course, you have the, you know, if it's a visual podcast and a video podcast, then you have to be concerned about your lighting, your audio, because it has to have a good static so that people can listen to it.
So if you're specific, you have a lot of responsibility because you have to be knowledgeable because the people that are following you are also knowledgeable in this. And if you're a versatile person that has a lot of, that has a podcast that is more versatile in different subjects, then you have to be very transparent with those people that are listening that you're here to give different topics on a daily basis.
And you have to keep it interesting. I mean, even though I'm not a chef,
but even that's even have more responsibility because you still have to be credible in what you're saying.
Yes, and you have to keep it interesting for someone who's not into cooking to listen to an episode about chef knives. So how do you frame it so that even someone who's completely outside this realm is interested to give you, you know, his time or her time? But and that's where the length of the episode comes in.
Yeah.
If it's, you know, 45 minutes, then it's very hard to, you know, have me listening for that time. Yeah. But if it's 10, I'll give you that.
Yeah. Okay.
So that also determines the length of your show as well.
And you can always have part twos of your,
but
not the next day, but let's say later on. So hold on. Okay. So do you need expensive equipment to start a podcast?
Oh no, that's.
I mean, you started in the car, so
yeah. I mean, we had a very basic, primitive tools, but right now you don't have such. You have very easy. I don't mind saying even cheap tools right now that give you really high quality.
Yeah.
And there is absolutely, and that, I mean, if you want to start something, you don't need to start big. I mean, you can start audio only. Yeah. And then shift to video because audio only focus on audio, so you just get a nice mic.
I mean, we're in the age where basically if your audio quality isn't that good, you have tools that can simplify it, fix it. Your video is not good, then you also have AI because we're in the
there you go. And even like right now, like your phone camera is really good. I mean, it will do the job. So equipment-wise, it's not it's what you do with it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's. I mean, I can make an omelet, but other people can have far superior, you know, things they do with 2 eggs in. But anyway, that the idea is you are the driving force of the success of this project of the podcast. The equipment is just something to help you. You know your skill set. You know what you want to talk about. You know your audience. then you'll hit the ground running. You'll be surprised how fast it will grow if you nail it right.
So how important is consistency in podcasting?
Extremely important, because I expect you to be on time every day or every week or every month. And for you to fail to deliver or fail to update, you will lose me right away, because I'm waiting for you and you're late 1 hour, you're late 1 day, you're late 2 days, then I give up refreshing, give up checking that you have something new. It's very important to maintain. This is why we go back to selection of your topics and your setup, because you want something that allow you to be consistent. If you're on and off, you'll lose your audience immediately. Mind you, there's a lot of podcasts out there.
Yeah.
So you're not consistent. I don't see you where I'm expected to see you. I'm moving on.
So does a podcast has to be daily?
No.
It can be weekly.
Matter of fact, most daily podcasts are very short, like 3 minutes or something like that, because you run dry. Especially if you're a one-man show, if you don't have a full team behind you. I found the right frequency is weekly. That's a very good frequency.
So when you say weekly, so how many times a week?
Once a week.
Once a week.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that I found that to be perfect, because I have enough time to miss you, but not enough to forget you.
All right. Because most of the podcasts right now, I can't find any ones that are weekly, as in once a week. Most of them are 2. So they do it on a 4-day base or 5-day base. So every 4 to 5 days.
Most of these tend to have like a team, doing the shows and the prep. It's not just the host by himself.
All right. So how do you grow your audience and get more listeners in general?
Well, this depends on the...
No, that's the thing, because you're on this side and they're in that side.
Well,
so how can you pull them in?
It depends on the period we're talking about. At the time, during my time, that's one of the reasons why we stopped. But that's not the question. But right now, you have a lot of algorithms that you can search tools that can broadcast your tags. There's a lot of tools out there that can blast podcasts everywhere. But in the end, you need to have a catchy title, description that can find you, or find the people that will be interested. People like work on the graphics of the title of the show. The name of the show should reflect what it's about. If it's a history show, then my favorite radio show is Nafda Tarikh, Windows to History. You can tell from the title what it's about.
Yeah.
So these are all things that tend to grab the audience.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Saad, and we hope to see you soon. We've reached to the end of today's episode.
Thank you.
All
Thank you for having me.
So much. And we'll have you hopefully next time. And thank you so much again.
Thank you.
All right, dear viewers, we've reached to the end of today's episode right here at Daily Reset, where a new chapter of your life starts. And we hope you took enough information about podcasting. And how about you try it somewhat? We'll try it first with your family and friends and see how the vibe is. And then you could continue, whether if you want to, put it out there in the world. Thank you so much, and see you soon.